Hi, I'm Julie from Rustic Cottage Co, and we're going to continue with the coffee table. And what I've started doing, and I'm just going to finish with showing you, is that I'm doing the barnwood plank stamps. This is an IOD product, barnwood plank, and you get many items with it. As you can see, there's lots of different items, but I only use some of it. You could use whatever you want on it. Sometimes I use this small piece for side pieces, but I'll show you the ones I use. I always use this piece. This is the main piece I always use to create my actual wood planks. I like to use this one just to do the separation of the planks, so it shows the nail holes and the separation of the plank. I like this one here for if I want to do a knot in the wood. And I go back over when I've done it all with this one here, and I use it a little, just not everywhere, just little bits of it for doing any saw marks. This gives you that illusion that the wood has been sawn. So how I do this is, you always with your stamps, you always get one of these, and this isn't important. Use it. If you have it, use it, because this gives you the better look from your stamps. It's more important with the detailed stamps like the Christmas ones or anything that has pictures or words on it. The barnwood, not so important, but it's still easier to use it. So make sure you have this to press down with. I have the IOD permanent ink, and I'm using the grey colour. I've topped up my ink today so that it's nice and juicy, so I don't need to press down too hard, but I know I've got enough ink to do all the projects. So I'm just going to press down on my stamp, and then I'm going to put it onto the piece of wood where I want it to go. And this is where this piece comes in. You put this on top, and this is what you push down on. Make sure you don't shift the actual stamp itself, or else you're going to get a blurry image. But this is how you get the better image, is by using this. It's more uniformed rather than just pressing down with your fingers. That is not uniformed. And then peel up, and you've got the perfect image. When you're doing barnwood like this, make sure your next piece is staggered. You don't want each level, each line of the barnwood being in the same place. So the next one you're going to be staggering down, and then the next one again you're going to stagger and keep going. With the knot, as I say, use this one, put a little bit of ink on it, and then press it down in place, making sure you always use this. Push down, and you get the perfect knot. You don't want it too heavy. This has come out nicely. It's the same as the ink around it. If it was too juicy, you could always sand it back a little bit after it's dried. And then with this one here, this is going to do your divide of your wood, and you just put it down where you want to divide of the wood, push it in place, and this one has already got the backing on it. I cut it with the backing on it. As you can see, it's already got the backing on, so I didn't need the other. That's how I cut it out. And sometimes the smaller pieces, if you cut it out with the backing, it's easier to use. But always use the backing to press down on your stamps. So I'm going to move these out the way so you can see exactly. I've finished up all of this now. And here is the barnwood look. And I'm just going to wait now for this to completely dry the ink. It doesn't take long with the ink, and it's permanent. And then I will be putting a clear coat on this, and then I will just be adding a little black wax for some detailing. So what we have done here, we did the charcoal grey first coat, then we did a clear coat on top, and then we did 2 coats of white. Before we put the white on, we used the Vaseline petroleum jelly in lines to show where the planks are and around the edges. Then we put the 2 coats of white and waited for everything to dry. Then with a dry cloth, we wiped back away all the petroleum jelly Vaseline away, and it revealed underneath the grey, because the white could not adhere to it, because the Vaseline, the greasiness of the Vaseline and petroleum jelly stopped the white adhering to it, and we were able to wipe it back away. Once I'd done that, I went back in with a little bit of a wet cloth, and I just carried on doing little extra details just to make it more uniformed. As you get a nice big piece here, as you can see, this was from the Vaseline petroleum jelly, made sure the white did not touch this. But I wanted to then add a little bit more in between, just to carry on the line, and I did that by just wet distressing back with a wet damp cloth. I let it all dry overnight completely, and then this morning I came in with my IOD stamps and I created the barnwood look. I've also done this on the side tables, and I'm going to wait now for it to completely dry. It's only going to be about an hour. With the ink, doesn't take long. And then I'm going to do a clear coat on top and let that dry. That's going to take, well, 4 hours to overnight. A clear coat, you really want it to dry nicely and cure nicely. If you're selling your pieces, make sure you keep it, the clear coat has many days for it to cure. And then I go back in with some black wax and just go over some edges and detailing, especially on the legs. I want to get them really distressed back. The black wax will dry in 24 hours, but it will take a good 3 months to cure. So if you are selling, you can either keep hold of your piece of furniture for 3 months while it's curing and then display it and sell it, or you can make sure that when the person is picking it up, you give them strict instructions of how to clean and look after the piece for the next 3 months while it's curing. So that's your choice of how to do it. Because I don't have a lot of space, I do sell straight away, but I make sure that I tell all my customers if there's any wax on that needs curing, that it takes 3 months to cure, so just use a dry cloth to just dust off your piece of furniture for the first 3 months, and then after that you can use more of a damp cloth to clean off your furniture, but not in the first 3 months. So I'm hoping you're liking how I've done this rustic table. It started off as an 80s, kind of 90s old table, and now I've turned it into a rustic farmhouse looking coffee table and side tables. I'll be displaying this up and showing you when it's finished, it all displayed and looking good in a home. And thanks for watching, and let me know in the comments what you think, and sprinkle to all your friends. I hope you enjoyed. I'm Julie from Rustic Cottage Co, and thanks for joining me. I'm Julie from Rustic Cottage Co. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and thumbs up. Thank you.